Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's a best selling author and the author of the book Bye Bye Bags. No other than Miss Kiana Dancy. Welcome to Book 101, Miss Kiana or Dr. Kiana. Can you please introduce more about yourself?
I love it when people ask me that. My name is Kiana Dancy. I also go by the Kiana Dancy. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an actress, author, comedian, coach. I am a former national syndicated talk show host and a realtor. But most importantly, close to my heart is I'm a transformational speaker. I teach women and I speak on releasing the emotional baggage to become your best self.
Dr. Kiana Dancy, thank you so much for sharing your talents to the world. And today let's talk about Bye Bye Bags. What is the premise of this book?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did stand up for many years. I've been doing stand up since 2009, stand up comedy since 2009, and I got the call to be on a national syndicated talk show in 2017. So I got the bags under my eyes removed because I was going to be on TV, and I wanted to look my best. I wanted to look younger. I wanted to look refreshed. I wanted to turn back the clock. And as I was having a conversation with God, because I'm a believer, I said to him, I said, Lord, I need you to refresh me. I need you to heal me younger and heal me prettier so that when I'm on TV, I'm my best. And so he
Yes.
said, okay, you will be younger and you will look prettier, but you're ugly on the inside. You have work to do.
Mm.
Hmm. So this is my first time, honestly, hearing the Lord speak to me audibly. I've heard him speak to me different ways, but never in actuality hearing his voice. So as I was sitting there, I said, wait a minute. You call me ugly. He said, yes, you're ugly on the inside. You got work to do. So I started unpacking my emotional, my internal baggage that was not allowing me to show up as my best self. Like outside, my bags were removed. But if I'm dragging my emotional baggage around with me, guess what? I'm unable to show up as my best. So I started unpacking my bags. So in that book, I write about all the things that I've been through, my dramas and my traumas throughout my life. And I actually learned to laugh at it.
Yes, and thank you for sharing your book to the world. So, aside from an author, you are empowering mental health. Let's talk about what are the different types of mental health professionals and how do their roles differ?
So a psychologist, a psychiatrist, one of them can write a prescription, the other one cannot. A therapist, a counselor, they all do the same thing. They help you not ideally, I non biasedly unpack your emotional baggage. I am a couch kid. I am a therapy kid. I've been on the couch since I was 6 years old. So I am very familiar with the help that mental health professionals bring. At every level in my life, I've utilized therapy. I've utilized counselors because I think it's really good to, as you grow and as you live, there are also very honestly, there are times where you will encounter things in your life that you just cannot deal with on your own. And I always tell people, if you don't have any emotional baggage now, just live a little longer because life is going to throw you something that you're going to need help kind of unpacking. I'm a child molestation survivor. I lost my dream job as a national syndicated talk show host, and also I was in a long-term relationship that did not materialize into marriage. And I'll tell you, at one time or another, I allowed the enemy to make me think or have me think that I wasn't worthy. And I knew that wasn't true. And so, through working with my counselor or my therapist at the time, of various times in my life, they helped me to see that, in fact, that was not true, what the enemy was telling me. But my therapist actually helped me understand that you have to learn how to turn down the volumes. One ear may be hearing something, then the other ear is not. Positive and negative, the good and the bad. So I had to learn how to adjust my volume so that I can hear the good voice speak louder than the evil or the bad voice.
So, Miss Kiana, what are the key qualities of effective or an effective mental health professional?
Right. I love that question. The key qualities of an effective mental health professional is, first of all, the ability to listen. the ability to who is empathetic, someone who is actually willing and able to hear your side of the story and also help you come to a non-biased conclusion on the help that you need. I always tell people, if you go, I subscribe to something called PCP, prayer, couch, and prescription. And let's just be clear, and it's not the drug. PCP is not the drug, but prayer. I'm a believer in prayer, but the word says prayer without works is dead. So if you don't put in the work to get to the next level, you're just praying. Now, don't get me wrong. The Lord hears your cries and he also knows your heart. He knows what you need before you even ask. But he also has put us in, put people on this earth for us to get to the next level. Hence the couch. Couch, a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, someone who can listen to you, someone
Yes.
that can help you non-biasedly unpack the baggage that you carry. We all carry baggage, but what does your baggage look like? What is it preventing you from becoming or doing? And so that last one is prescription. Now, I always say this to anyone, no matter if you go to a therapist first time or 1,000 times, if your psychologist or therapist or even if anyone in your life, the only thing they're saying is you should take a pill, that is not the doctor for you. That is not the psychologist or the therapist for you. You should not just be taking prescriptions to address your situation, but what you should be doing is, if you need a prescription, absolutely take it, but it should be the wraparound services also, the support groups, your family, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your loved ones, your girlfriends, whoever is in your life to help you support, that can support you get through your dramas and your lowest days. A prescription only masks the issue. You need someone to help you to really reveal what is it you're going through and why.
Very well said, Miss Kiana. Very well said.
Thank
And
you.
and how do mental health professionals approach building trust with their clients?
Well, first of all, you got to be willing to listen and no judgment. I'm certified in mental health professional, mental health and anxiety through Harvard, but I'm not a mental health professional. I am a coach, and I have worked with numerous women on how to release their emotional baggage to be their best self. And I'll be honest with you, I've been able to work with a lot of women who have had a lot of drama and trauma and have really to this. I mean, some of the things I'm like, oh my God, how did you make it through? The first step to helping anyone is being able to listen without judgment. Sometimes it's just about putting your pen down, putting your paper down, lean back, lean in, and listen to the person and what they're telling you.
Yes, definitely. So, in Bye Bye Bags, can you share a chapter that deals with mental health?
I'm sorry I don't have my book in front of me. I would actually refer to a particular chapter, but I will go specifically to the point, to the chapter in my life when I was 6 years old and I was molested. Oftentimes, people who have been through something such as that internalize that as something has they did something wrong or something is wrong. And what I've concluded was it was nothing that I could have done differently to have changed those episodes or that scenario in my life. But what I am grateful for is the fact that my mother had enough sense to put me in therapy so that when I grew up to be an adult, that I would, one, not have any issues with my body as a woman, or two, even as a child, I understood, because when you're molested or you're violated at that age or any age, honestly, there's a certain innocence that you lose. And thank God my mother had, she put immediately when I went to tell my mother what happened to me, it wasn't that she did not believe me. She believed me immediately. And she made sure that my community, my family, and everything that I needed, I had, so that I can grow up and not have issues when I get, become an adult. So I would say at every level of my life, at 6 years old, I spoke to a specialist who specialized in dealing with children who have been through that. I didn't speak to a specialist that was a divorce therapist or a relationship therapist. I spoke to a child psychologist that can help me work through my trauma at that time. I think it's important that you understand. Excuse me, I had some water and it went down the wrong way. I think it's important that you understand that every level of our life, we are going to encounter various obstacles, various speed bumps, and a therapist helps you navigate through those dramas and those traumas. And that chapter in my life at 6 years old, even though it was inappropriate touching, no penetration, it still happened to me, and it was a violation of my innocence. And I'm just thankful that my family and my mother was able to put me in a situation where I grew up understanding that it was nothing that I could have done differently. It was not my fault, and I am still worthy of not only his love but also my own love. So it was just a really good time. I have a good strong foundation in my family, and I'm very grateful for that.
Definitely. Totally
Sorry, my
agree with
puppy
you.
wanted to make an appearance.
Hello, so cute.
Thank you.
So, Miss Kiana, what challenges do students face while pursuing a career in mental health?
I would say that some of the challenges that people would students specifically would encounter pursuing a career in mental health is sorting through their own mental health. You want to make sure that you're solid. And I'll tell you, even as a coach, there are days when I didn't feel like coaching. There are days when I don't feel like, or I didn't know what to do or say. So you have to extend yourself grace and just know that every day is not going to be a good day. Every day is not going to be a day that you feel even worthy of the pursuit of the career. But what you're doing is pursuing a career that you're going to be able to help others. So what you do is remove yourself out the situation and learn how to separate self for the greater good of the community and the greater good of your eventual clients.
Definitely. So, how do mental health professionals assess and diagnose mental health conditions?
You know what? That's a very good question. I don't know. No, listen, I don't know if you're familiar with a guy named Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin is a gospel artist, and he doesn't sing. He plays. From what I understand, he doesn't even really play instruments, but he orchestrates very very well gospel choirs, and he directs gospel choirs. So that is what I am. I put all the pieces together. I orchestrate and direct mental health people. My nonprofit is called Bags,
Yes.
becoming a guiltless survivor. And I started my nonprofit because my mother, although she put me in therapy, I always assumed and I concluded that she too probably should have went to therapy too. But she was so busy focusing on me. And so our mission statement at Bags is to steer women to the mental health professionals they need to unpack the bags that they involuntarily carry. And what has happened is many of us as people, as humans on this earth, we have collected baggage that don't even belong to us, right? And so
Right.
I encourage those around everyone. If you're living on this earth, if you have not, you will eventually need a mental health support system to help you get from A to B. And if it's not A to B, sometimes it may be A to Z. You might need someone that can help you go the long haul or even just a short time in your life. But I encourage everyone to lean on someone to help you unpack the emotional baggage that you either are or eventually will carry.
Definitely. So, how do mental health professionals address the stigma surrounding therapy and mental illness?
It's funny that you asked that question because as people of color, we tend to run away from mental health professional or even the word therapy. We run away from it because many of us tend to be very religious and we run away from it thinking it makes us a weak or if we run a mental health support, we're running away from Christ or we're running away from prayer. And I disagree with that. As of the last 5 years, there has been a real push and a drive for people to really couple up not only Christ, but also, the mental health support. So you'll see a lot more of therapists incorporating prayer or meditation in their mental health, services. And I've recently not only a prayer and also the therapy that we're coupling up, but laughter, because laughter is also another way to bring it on home. Laughter is another way to bring peace in your life. If you just step back sometimes and look at the situations that you're in, look at the drama and the trauma that you're in the middle of, you'll realize that it's not as bad as it is. And if you look around, you can see that it's not what they're going through, and it's not what he's going through. Thank God that what I'm going through. It's specifically designed for me. But the word says, and I want you to remember this, the word said all things work for the greater good for those who love the Lord. I can't separate my love for Christ. So I have to understand no matter what I'm going through, it is going to work out for the best for me.
So, Miss Kiana, what are the biggest challenges mental health coaches face in their daily work?
Probably getting people to understand that there is nothing wrong with them for needing mental health. Sometimes mental health support. Sometimes it's just a matter of sitting on the couch and just like when I was coaching and working with women, sometimes I'll just listen and let them talk. And that was enough for them. I didn't tell you to do anything. I didn't advise you to do anything. I didn't give you an advice. I just gave you an ear to listen. Sometimes people just need an ear to bend. So it's really true when people say, mental health is a real thing. The need is a real thing. The support and the desire sometimes, the desire to get mental health, and people can run from it. So that's one of the challenges as mental health and coaches that we have is getting people to understand that even though that you need it and then you get it doesn't make you less than or crazy. It just means that we all sometimes need a little bit support.
Yes. So, Miss Kiana, what are your advice for those people out there suffering from mental health?
Take one day at a time. Find a therapist that understands you, someone that you can relate to. I really believe in finding a therapist or a mental health professional or a counselor or a psychiatrist that looks like you. And the reason why I say that, because oftentimes when I say look like you, I'm not saying they necessarily have to be brown with blonde hair. What I am saying is someone who is, if you're a person of color, find a person of color because they can honestly relate to some of the things that you've been through just on this earth. Now, if you're a man, I would say definitely go to a man. I believe in, if you're a woman, go to a woman because there's sometimes, and if that's not your preference, I understand that. But there is sometimes where you literally need to talk to somebody that's been through what you're going through. If I'm having issues with fertility, and I'm sitting on the couch talking to a man about how bad I feel or how depressed I feel about that, he may not be able to relate. But if you go to talk to a woman, she may have either experience her own personal fertility issues or know a sister or a friend or aunt or mom or someone who has been through it. And that there is enough to say, I understand what you're going through. I know what you've been through because I've been there. So
Yes.
I would say find someone that looks like you, research them, see it, and it may be, that you guys can connect on just experiences and not just because they say they specialize in the help that you need.
Definitely. So, what are your short term and long term goals as a coach and, of course, an author?
Right. So, as a stand up comedian and a coach and an author and a transformational speaker, my job is to bring joy and put laughter in people's belly. My goal is to just remind people no matter we're on this earth. For a very short amount of time. We have to
Yes,
maximize the time that we are here. And it may not be perfect and it may not even be easy, but your life is up to you to live it to the fullest. So I'm working on a book right now called Laugh Therapy. It's an anthology where multiple mental health professionals will write a chapter on how they believe in laughter being one of the best medicines. For example, the mental health professional either subscribe to the notion that laughter can be used as a healing mechanism, or they have prescribed laughter as
yes,
a healing mechanism. I've interviewed hundreds of mental health professionals, and some of them just don't believe it. Some don't. Some really do. I've met people who are therapists, but they teach laughing yoga, which is an amazing thing. I met a lady who does she does when she does her therapy, she also is one that goes out instead of the police going directly out. If there was a 911 call and someone is having a mental health break, guess what? She goes because she specialized in emergency situations like that. And she believes in healing through laughter. So for me, I this project is close to my heart because I am a stand-up comedian. And I really want people to understand that sometimes you just got to take two steps back and laugh at it. So laugh therapy is my baby. We plan to launch in April of 2025. I'm also working on my women's empowerment movement, which is called Baggage Claim. Baggage Claim is a safe destination for women to claim, heal, and release any emotional baggage that we all carry. And here's the thing, I'm not saying that men don't carry baggage. because we know y'all do. But what we are saying is many men have denied the fact that they carry baggage. They're like, oh, I don't carry baggage. And they don't really particularly like the branding baggage claim. So here it is. Laugh therapy is for you. Baggage claim will remain for the women. And baggage claim is just that you get in a room of women's empowerment, a room full of women who are empowering each other to be greater. Let the light shine that's not only shining within you, but also on you. And we support each other and we claim our bags and we let it go. We write it down, we cut it up, and we burn it up. Not being held hostage or captive by anything that looks like lack, insecurity, or shortcomings again.
Yes, definitely. Good luck to your goals, Miss Kiana,
Thank
and
you.
more blessing this 2025.
Thank you.
And what role the supervision or peer support play in the practice of, as a coach, I should say, of a mental health?
Your peers are very important. So, because if you're going through it, that I always encourage when my girls, the women that I work with, if you're going through, don't close the blinds, don't shut the light out, don't cut your phone off. Stay connected to your community. It's important that people see who that you're going through, and the people that know you know that you're going through. Why? Because those are the people that can help you the most. Those that know you, that they know, they see, hey, you haven't been eating, you lost a little weight. Hey, I have an aunt. This is completely different, but it's the same. She knows me. She knows when my iron is low, and she'll say, "Hey, your iron is low." And then when I go check it, my iron is low. Someone that knows you, that can to know that your temperature is changing, your temperament is changing, your attitude is changing. You want someone that can see you who you are, and then when you need to wave your white flag, you do that. Wave your white flag and say, "I need help," and your community comes to the rescue.
Yes, definitely, Miss Kiana. I totally agree. So, to sum up our episode for today, how can society better support mental health coaches in their work?
Yeah. So the way the society can support not only mental health coaches, but guess what? They can also support the friends in their family in their little community. Stay connected, but also stop judging. Understand that everybody is going through it. If you're not going through it at this moment, I always say live a little longer. Eventually, you will. You may not be going through it right now, but your friends, your mom, your aunts, your brothers, your nieces, your nephews, someone in your family may be going through. And here's another thing I would say: check on your strong friends. Your strong friends are strong just because they have to sometimes, but it's not because they want to be strong. I encourage you to check on your strong friends. Remind them that they don't have to carry everybody's burden because they have their own burdens to carry. You can support people in ways you have no idea. Sometimes it's just picking up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. Are you okay?" Let people know that I see you. Let people know that I'm thinking about you. And then when they come to you and tell you whatever they're going through, don't judge them. Just listen.
Yes, judge not so that you may not be judged.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Kiana Dancy, again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world. And looking forward for more books to come and of course
Yes,
coaching.
I'm currently working on another project. So we have Laugh Therapy, which is coming out in April, which is the collective of mental health professionals and comedians. But I'm also working on my own personal third book, which is 7 Ways to Release Your Emotional Baggage to Become Your Best Self. And there's so many things happening. I'm so blessed. I've used this platform uh, as far as stand up to connect the dots because baggage claim opened the door. Laugh therapy is going to shoot me off into the atmosphere, but I'll say laugh therapy is where laughter meets healing, and it's a reminder that we're on this earth for a very short time. Use this time to step back and laugh at what it was meant to destroy you.
Yes. So, Miss Kiana, can you please invite our listeners to support your coaching and, of course, your books and upcoming books?
Yes, I can be found on all social media platforms at KNAGANCIE. That's Kiana Dancy. My website is also kianadancy.com, and you can email me at info at KiaraDancy.com. And this is my baby Snoopy. He says hello.
Hello, Snoopy.
Yes, thank you so much. And get you a pet. Even when you feel like not getting out of bed, these
Yes,
little guys will make you
yes,
get up out of bed because they got to eat and they want to go for a walk.
yes, for sure. So, Miss Kiana, or people, let's support Miss Kiana Dancy, because if you support her, as I said, more empowering books to come, and of course, coaching. So, Miss Kiana, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye.
More people, see you soon.